So over the past few months, our online events have been broadcast from Belgium, Norway, Spain, and finally today, Belfast, Northern Ireland. On behalf of myself and Professor Karen Winter from Queen's University Belfast, I'm delighted to welcome you all here this afternoon. I hope you'll enjoy the programme that we've put together for you, and we particularly want to welcome our colleagues from across Europe who are joining us today. It's disappointing that we can't host you all in person and give you a tour of this small but mighty place that we call home. So instead, I'll share with you some interesting facts about Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland's the smallest country in the United Kingdom, and it makes up part of the UK along with England, Scotland and Wales, but is situated on an island in Western Europe called Ireland. In 1921, the island of Ireland was divided into two parts. Northern Ireland remained part of the United Kingdom and the rest became known as the Republic of Ireland. Whilst we're part of the United Kingdom, Northern Ireland makes its own laws. The Parliament buildings of the Northern Irish government in Belfast are called Stormont. Sometimes you might hear Northern Ireland being referred to as Ulster, and that's the ancient name of that part of Ireland. Although English is the most popular language here, Chinese is the most widely spoken minority language. Some of you might have heard of the Giant's Causeway, a famous rocky area of the coast in County Antrim. It's made up of thousands of hexagonal blocks of rock formed by ancient volcanic eruptions. Our population is only about 1.8 million, and despite our small geographical size, Northern Ireland is a country of culture, producing famous writers like Seamus Heaney and C.S. Lewis, as well as noted actors like Liam Neeson, James Nesbitt and Kenneth Branagh. As I said, we're small, but we're mighty. And so to the programme for this afternoon. We have a range of presentations today that set out the policy and legislative context for our work with children under 12. And we'll also hear some lovely examples from practice. Karen will give an overview of the PANDA Project, and then we will hear from Northern Ireland's Commissioner for Children and Young People, Kula Yasuma. Kula took up her appointment in March 2015, and as Commissioner, her role is to safeguard and promote the rights and best interests of children and young people. The Commissioner uses the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child to guide her work and the work of her team. All the Commissioner's work is focused on making sure children and young people have access to these rights in their day-to-day lives so that they have the best opportunity to reach their full potential. We will then have a video presentation from Alicia McDaniel, the Director of Family and Children's Policy at our Department of Health. The department is the lead government department for the policy and strategy for personal health and for social services in Northern Ireland. That is all professional aspects on how social care is delivered in Northern Ireland, including the social work strategy, child protection and early authoritative interventions. After a short break, we'll hear some examples from practice. Karen will talk with Teresa McAllister from the Safeguarding Board for Northern Ireland. The Safeguarding Board was established in 2012, and its objective is to safeguard and promote the welfare of children and young people in Northern Ireland by coordinating the work and ensuring the effectiveness of each person or body represented on the board. The board is made up of key partner organisations from the statutory, community and voluntary sectors. We'll then hear from Jenny and Nicola from my own organisation, the Voice of Young People in Care. They'll outline how we engage with young children to seek their views, wishes and feelings about their life and care. And then we'll hear from the Head of Service for Specialist Residential Care, Mary-Louise Sloan. Mary-Louise will outline some great work by her and her team and how they designed a framework especially for the work with young children and in partnership with children and young people. Finally, Karen will sum up this afternoon's key themes before we open up for a final set of question and answers before we close. Each of you will receive an evaluation form by email after the event, and we really would appreciate it if you would complete it and return that to us. As I said, we have the use of the chat facility, so if you have any questions or comments or any difficulties, please enter them in the chat. So lastly, finally for me, all I have to say is enjoy the session, and now I'm going to hand you over to Professor Karen Winter.